there, I am Kirsten Shockey, and I am the author of 5 books on fermentation, vegetables, hot sauce, greens and legumes, vinegar and cider. So we can talk all kinds of microbes and all kinds of ferments. I got my start fermenting over 20 years ago now. I'm here on our farm in Southern Oregon. I was fermenting before I knew, we weren't using the language fermenting then. I was making cheese. I was teaching myself to be a cheesemaker because we had dairy animals and it just seemed like an old school domestic art. Yes, I knew it was fermentation, but believe it or not, we didn't talk about it in the way we are talking about it now. So I really thought my first ferment was vegetables, which came actually quite a few years later, fermented vegetables from the garden, when I realized that fermenting those vegetables was a much better way to preserve them. I was able to preserve nutrients and flavor in ways that canning, especially low acid vegetables, was never going to achieve or preserve. That led to a very small fermentation company, which was now, let's see, about 12 years ago. And people were just starting to talk about probiotics and why they might want to eat some food that's fermented. So at the markets, ended up doing a lot of education, and that led to classes on the farm and then books. And here I am still talking about why you should ferment your vegetables. So let's talk about what fermentation is. Fermentation is a transformation. I think of it as a collaboration between you and the microbes to transform your food into something else. Your goal may be preservation. That is how humans have preserved their food for thousands and thousands of years. And I want you to remember that if you feel like this is scary or you can't do this or you don't have the right equipment, that's wrong. You totally do. People were doing this before we had any equipment and any special knowledge other than what I'm going to teach you in this little class. Some people ferment for the health benefits, and we'll talk about that later. And other people ferment just for the fun of it and just for the flavor of it. The fantastic thing that I feel with fermentation is that you also are getting a chance to build a relationship with these unseen forces that are across our body, across our world, in our soils, on our planet. And in this simple act of placing some vegetables to ferment on your jar, you're kind of getting a picture of the whole workings. So just give you some ideas of how you can have fun with fermentation. You can use things that maybe you were going to throw away. This salsa here is made out of watermelon rinds. It's wonderful, it's crispy, it's a little spicy, it's tangy, and it is the rinds I would have otherwise thrown into the compost pile. We have hot sauce. This is cauliflower, cabbage. This is zucchini, beans and corn. So it's kind of my little three sisters situation going on. So what you're going to learn today is a very simple ferment. However, those same methods will apply across anything that you desire to do.
Hey everyone, this is Mason with Rally. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel while you're at it. What you just saw there was lesson 1 from Kirsten Shockey's fermentation module, and that's from our first ever course. It's called the Art of Frugal Nutrition. And the premise behind it is basically how to feed you and your family nourishing foods without spending a lot of money. And we think fermentation is one of the best ways to do that. So who else to get other than Kirsten Shockey? She's an expert. Her and her husband have written countless books on fermentation, hot sauces, and you name it. So this module covers the benefits of fermentation, the cost effectiveness of fermentation. She even goes into like an 18-minute demo on how to make sauerkraut, like a very basic fermentation recipe. It also comes with an accompanying PDF as well as the audio version. So you get the video, PDF, and audio version. So a little bit more about the Art of Frugal Nutrition. It's a sliding scale course. It actually slides all the way down to free, so you can get it for free. It's ever expanding, which means we're gonna keep adding on to it. It's also a community with a private Facebook group. And it's also a fundraiser, which means we're gonna donate 10% of profits to a nonprofit whose mission it is to help feed the hungry. So if you'd like to learn more about the Art of Frugal Nutrition, including this module, the fermentation one, just go to herbrally.com/frugal nutrition and learn more about it there. So thank you so much again. Talk to you later.